Well, Carlene York knows the complexities of this search all too well. She led one of the biggest manhunts in our country's history, successfully tracking down double murderer Malcolm Naden in 2012. Like Freeman, Naden fled into the bush. He spent almost 7 years on the run before he was finally captured. The former police commander joins me. Carlene, looking at that search site, you've got thick bushland, bad weather. It must bring back memories of your search for Naden.
Yeah, as soon as I heard about the tragedy and saw some of the pictures in the media, it took me right back to the manhunt for Malcolm Naden, particularly the look of the landscape and the trees and the heavy bushland. It's a very sad occasion for Victoria Police.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard enough to find someone lost in terrain like that, let alone someone who doesn't want to be found.
Yeah, usually the searches that police and other emergency services do is people come out and wave their arms and really want to be found or put some indication. This is quite a different bush search where they don't want to be found, they want to elude the police, so it makes it very difficult, and especially, as I said, in that dense bushland, they're quite restricted in trying to find him in quite dangerous circumstances, obviously.
How critical are these first few days, and as you just touched on, how dangerous?
Yeah, well, similar to what we did in the bush search for Malcolm Naden is it began with a shooting, significantly not as serious as this shooting, but getting in and trying to ascertain the direction that the alleged offender went in and trying to confine that search area is really important in those first early days.
And I'm guessing it's not just the geographical risks that the police officers face too. We know that Freeman's heavily armed, has already killed 2 police officers, so we know that's not a red line for him. And he knows the area, like Naden did.
Yes, Naden had been out in this bushland for about 7 years, knew the tracks and knew the area very well. And of course the police go in not knowing, not having that advantage. So they know he's armed in this circumstances, as was Malcolm Naden when we were out there. So if they know the bush very well, they can hide for extended periods of time. And so hopefully we just, hope that the police catch them very quickly.
So there are police officers on the ground and in the sky. I mean, it is several hundred against one. So why is it so difficult?
Well, I remember in our search when I had an opportunity of going up in a helicopter and just looking down through the tree canopy that you can't see the ground. The helicopters are very good, make a lot of noise, but that warns the offender as well.
There has been criticism of the police chief that he's not sharing enough information, but we've also then heard that Freeman possibly has radios with him. I mean, if he's hearing everything the police are saying, is that the reason why we're probably not hearing everything that's going on from that policing level?
It was reported in the media, I don't know if it's true, about a police radio. They would find other ways to communicate with each other, but he might have a transistor radio, for example, and that if the police gave away some of their tactics and strategies, then that would pre-warn him. So it's a difficult balance to be able to confirm with the community that, their safety is paramount, and that's what the police are looking after, but not give away those covert strategies that they might be using to find the person who's running.
How much pressure did you feel? The police officer who was shot in the shoulder, that was December 2011. At that point, I think the police commissioner came out and said, we are here until we find this person. That was on you. It took 4 months. Were they the longest 4 months of your life?
I would say they would have had to have been the longest 4 months. When the Commissioner said that, I mean, obviously that's what we were intending to do, but knowing that he had been on the run for 7 years, knowing we'd had multiple operations when there were sightings or break-and-enters where we knew he had committed those offences, knowing that you're going to be there, would it be 7 years, would it be 7 days? There was no answer to that. So you start very much with that crisis management, going in and putting all resources there. But in our case, over probably the first weeks to a month, we had to start thinking about longer term strategies to make sure that we had enough police and resources to be out there 24/7 searching for the offender.
I think that is a great point you raise. Police are throwing every resource they have and can at tracking Freeman down at the moment, but realistically and logistically, how long can they search at this intensity?
Oh, they can go quite a while because, you know, the police will be committed to catching this alleged offender. You know, it's disappointing when, obviously sad when a member of the community gets shot, but there's a little bit more of a personal affront when you know that it's a police officer, not that you would change the search in any way with your resources.
We now know the identities of the officers killed, 59-year-old Detective Neil Thompson and 35-year-old Vadim Devad. It makes it all very real, what we've lost.
It's very real when it's a police officer, and that's what you've been doing. You know, the majority of your career or your life is, you know, keeping the community safe and being out there to help people, and when this happens, it's just tragic. So
if they don't find him in the next few hours or days, what happens?
Oh, well, they'll keep searching. I mean, there's no doubt about it that, you know, they'll start to look at some of those mid-term and long-term strategies. I know when we caught Malcolm Naden, he was tired, he was hungry, and he had been on the run for an extensive period of time, and that all helped in relation to being able to be successful in the operation.
How was that feeling when you finally got him?
Yeah, well, it was a bit of shock. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning. The officers rang me. I asked them to repeat themselves about 2 or 3 times just so I made sure I got the message right. And it was a feeling of elation. And for us, although the police dog did have to be used and he got an injury and taken to hospital, it was a very successful operation that no one was more seriously injured, which was always at the forefront of my mind when we were thinking about the strategies of what we would use.
Yeah, well, we're all hoping this manhunt ends peacefully, and we appreciate your time, Carlene. Thank you.
Thanks very much.